if you don't know whatever language this was written in, I'm assuming it was Mandarin. They have this program called the Smart Silver. It's a inclusive digital program for the elderly. If I'm 65 and I go to that website, I'm completely lost.
Look at Hong Kong. The culture is built on respect and relationships. They don't look at the elderly and put them in old age homes.
Hey everyone, my name's Jay Quarmby. I'm sitting here with Andal, one of the co-founders of Vosun, and I thought it'd be great to sit down with him and have a conversation as they're about to embark on a roadshow across Dubai and throughout Asia, and love to just kind of pick your brain on what you guys are hoping to achieve as you go on that trip.
Hey, Jay, always a pleasure sitting with you. You're absolutely right. Brian, our president, is going on a road trip, and it's all investor related and impact related. And I think for those who are listening to this discussion with us, I think it's probably important for me to kind of get a little into who Vosun is. I mean, correct?
Correct.
So, we are solving a 30-year-old problem. So the internet by nature has been treating translation as a find and replace word activity. What happens in that process is that the person itself is lost, context is lost, content is lost, intent is lost, emotions, tone, and even cultural nuances is lost.
Yeah.
And Vosun, we decided to build a foundation large language model. And this is built on a very core principle of preservation. And if you think about language, we are moving away from the internet browser that's been 30 years old, and we're creating this experience engine. And with that experience engine, we are breaking down what we call the last frontier of language barrier. And for the first time ever, we're going to have every single person around the world being understood and being present.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
think so.
exciting.
I think so.
Okay, so one of the stops on this roadshow is Hong Kong. I think Hong Kong is a fascinating place because it's so technologically advanced. It's also one of the financial capitals of the world.
Yeah.
And they're trying to really kind of push themselves. I mean, they're already pushed themselves into way more advanced tech than we have here in Canada. But there's some interesting initiatives and programs that they have where I can see things could get lost in translation. For example, I was reading that they have this program called the Smart Silver, which is a program designed to, it's a inclusive digital program for the elderly. So the idea is that they're trying to bring their, elderly population into the digital world by giving them access to training courses, apps, and it was funny because I actually went to the app to have a look at it and was thinking about translation and languages. And I went to the app to check out the website, sorry. And of course I couldn't read it at all. And it looked really cool. They have, some really nice graphics and a calendar.
Yeah.
And it made me really realize if you don't know whatever language this was written in, I'm assuming it was Mandarin, but I don't know, then I'm completely, if I'm 65 and I go to that website, I'm completely lost.
It's a black box.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what and number one, I'm happy we're talking about this because the initiative that is happening in Hong Kong, as you know, Hong Kong is technology is at the forefront. Yep. And they care about the aging population as a cultural people. And the thing that we look at when we're talking about these kind of initiatives is the ability for the elderly to still be relevant. And that's core to the culture.
Yep.
And when we look at this, it's that ability to still become relevant, be in your own dialogue, in your own dialect and your own language, and still be able to communicate effectively across whether it's your family members, your friends, whether it's other companions. And when we look to VOCIN specifically with this initiative, is that we, and here's what I would say, Jay, we put people first.
Yeah.
You know, tech comes second. For us, tech comes second. We look at people and relationships and you being able to communicate, whether it's to your peer or to your great grandchildren. And Volson's technology is not just I would say, a translation technology. It's one that takes contextual data and really makes that into something special and makes it to be something that people can communicate with effectively.
So in somewhere like Hong Kong, where they have Cantonese, you mentioning contextually, I think, is really important because, as far as I know, Cantonese it's one of those languages where how you say it
Correct.
is almost more important than what you say.
Correct.
Are you guys able to tackle something like that problem? Because, translation out of context could be like extremely, potentially could have really terrible, ramifications.
Absolutely. If you do a word-to-word translation, you would have completely missed the bullseye on this, right? And when you're talking about human connection, it's not always what people say, is tone, it's intent. All of these things we factor in when we're talking about VOCIN, is making things contextually accurate. And I think this is a breakthrough, in my humble opinion, because if you look at Hong Kong, the culture is built on respect and relationships. They don't look at the elderly and put them in like in North America, we do a lot of old age homes. It's not so much in that culture. And we help making sure that whether you are a 5-year-old or whether you are 95, that you still have that human connection. That's where VOCIN really comes in, that you have that human connection. And I think it's just fascinating when we talk about these programs that are being set out and how we can actually help drive a real social impact.
Yeah. So they have this other program called, I think it was called I Am Smart. I was looking at this the other day. And they are basically trying to, well, not trying to, they are creating an app that every government service can sit under. I mean, we need that here. To be able to access all of your services in one place, would be beautiful. But again, the challenges of an app like that is, again, like when I went to that website, is like, can you read it? Can you use it? Are you able to access that and get the information that you need, particularly if you are an elderly person?
You think about this from a people standpoint, right? We're all about making connections with people, and a lot of cultures, their aging population is very treasured. So you want to make sure everyone has equal access. And if you're talking about 2.7 million people, or even above that, having access to government services, it's going to be tough. Going to be tough for individuals who, let's just say, are senior citizens, people who are probably speaking Cantonese, for instance. What we are looking to do is to partner with government agencies. We're looking to partner with everyone that's making services available to their general population, no matter if they're 8 years old or whether they're 80 years old. And we're making sure that we have equality across the board. So the technology that VOCIN is bringing, Jay, is fascinating because we're not looking at numbers. We're looking at how do we make real, personal, human connection. We're looking at how we can have seniors, let's call it that, still become relevant. And those who are speaking Cantonese or Mandarin or whatever language that you may have in Hong Kong have the same access. And Vosen has looked at this from a lens of equality, from a lens of how do we get people to become people and have those relationships no matter what age they are. And I think with initiatives that we see in Hong Kong, that we could be a real driving force to really impact that and move the needle, in my humble opinion.
So, kind of switching gears, because this is this is an interesting topic for me. Is Hong Kong being a financial capital of that side of the world? Can you speak to translation and contextual translation in the financial world, and like what the impact of that is? And
I'll tell you this, Jay. In my corporate experience, the CFO is on the line for financial reports. I've seen situations where companies have been fined tremendously. I've also seen situations that CFOs have done a couple days in jail because of misrepresented data on a financial report. And high risk, when it comes to Hong Kong, they know this is high risk with financial data. So you need a solution in place that doesn't just translate word for word, but it has to capture content and context. And I think this is absolutely prudent for any publicly traded company or any fast-moving company to make sure that their financial reports are actually not just from an accounting standpoint legit, but also that it communicates accurately across their stakeholders. And when you talk about Vosen and how we can help actually impact and drive the needle and move the needle for that, we are not doing a word-for-word translation. We have a contextual engine that actually understands meanings and intent. And when you bake that in, you're actually now kind of future-proofing, or at least bulletproofing, those that are in financial arenas and having their financial reports and discussing financial things with the public. So we make sure that we mitigate and remove the risk of financial data by making things absolutely plain and simple.
Yeah.
And it communicates well across all stakeholders.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
100%.
So you guys are going to be in Hong Kong over the next couple of weeks. Suggest people to just kind of keep an eye out for when there's an event that you're going to. What do you recommend people do from this point?
I think there's a lot of business that can be done from a social impact standpoint with Hong Kong and Vosen. So I think, number one, if someone's looking at you and I having this kind of fireside chat, I would urge them to reach out to us. Okay, that's the first thing. Number one, there is a downloadable document that they can have and they can read and they can just understand where the impact can be with a solution like Vosen. A deep dive.
Initiatives that you could be involved.
We're always looking to open the communication with all countries, but let's talk specifically with Hong Kong. I think there's some super cool and super innovative things that Vosen can do to that population and make things contextually accurate and advance the cause, to be really honest with you.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.